Hey guys, Darren here. Thanks for joining This Week in Options for the week of January 20th, 2025. However, the 20th, Monday, is Martin Luther King Day, so we've got a day off, and then we start and open the market on Tuesday, the 21st. But today we're going to cover where we are in the market year to date. Hopefully you guys are off to a great start like we are in our portfolio. We're up over 10% in the first 2.5 weeks. So looking to continue that, and we're going to touch on the different sectors, where we are with interest rates, what it looks like going forward this year, and then we're going to jump into some live trades on the option trading platform. Before we get started, be sure and hit that like and subscribe button down below. Also download the free options workshop in the link below. All right, guys, so here we are on the let's see, this is the 5-day chart. So we were up, you can see, big last week. I've got the S&P 500 in the candlestick chart, and then I've got the Qs in that magenta colors straight line type chart, although it's not a straight line. But you can see the tech and the Qs were up quite a bit, but everything was up big last week. And then over the last year, you can see we've been moving up. But, in the last couple of months, we've had a bit of a downturn, but now we're starting to trend up again. And then if we look at the individual sectors and how they've performed, in the last week, everything was up big. Financials up huge, and energy both up over 6%. Industrials 4%, materials 6%. So everything was up, and year to date, everything's up as well, except consumer staples is down. If we look at the economic news from last week, we had some good news coming out on the core PPI. Was 0.1 versus 0.3 was what was expected. So you can have the forecast right here and then the actual 0.1. And we're on Market Watch calendar. This is free, so you can see the economic reports that are coming out and the results as well. But you can see on Tuesday, core PPI came in below, and core CPI 0.2 versus 0.3. So it came below as well. So it's basically saying that inflation is in check and the Fed is okay to lower interest rates going forward. But again, we're going to look at interest rates next, and you'll see there's only one rate cut really priced in for this year. But if we look this year, this week, we've got Martin Luther King market day, or markets closed on Monday. Tuesday, there's nothing going on. There's not too much this week. We've got jobless claims on Thursday and existing home sales on Friday. Okay, so here's where we are. This is also a free tool, CME Group, interest rates. You can see right now we're at 4.25 to 4.5. It's expected to stay that way this month and next month, or March and May. Still 56% chance the no cut. It's not until June that it leans a little bit more toward a 1/4 point cut, and that's what Jerome Powell is talking about, is maybe 1 or 2 cuts it looks like this year. But so a 1/4 point cut maybe in June, and then it will be at 4 to 4.5, and then it's expected to stay that way, I believe, through the end of the year. October still 4 to 4.25, and the odds 4 to 4.25 even in December. So they're talking about only one rate cut around June of next year. Now we want to keep in mind the fear and greed index is at 38. So I'm about 50% invested right now. So let me know in the comments below what percentage you're invested as well. I'm curious if you have money waiting on the sidelines, or if you're all in right now. We just had a bit of a run up. Like I said, in this portfolio, we're up 10% already, just in 2.5 weeks. But by the way, if you'd like to receive a copy of the free options strategies trading guide that outlines all the strategies as well as management of those trading strategies, comment options guide down below, and I'll send you the link. So AI, C3 AI is my first one. I've got 2 leaps and 2 calls against it. And if we look at the chart, I've kind of put on my chart, I've updated it a little. I've got RSI down here. So we're still at the lower end of RSI because we had a drop down. Here's the 200-day moving average in the yellow. The red is the 50-day moving average, and the green is the 13-day. So we've come down a little bit, but we're still above the 200-day moving average. And if you look up here, I put in my 1-year target. So this is based upon, looking at earnings, looking at all the fundamentals, what they've got, what the analysts are projecting. But I see this stock getting to $50 from 32, in the next 12 months. So I'm definitely long, and that's why I'm playing with the leaps options and then the 2 covered calls. And so far in AI, I don't think we have had this trade on very long. Let me look. Yeah, not too long, but we'll see how it continues to perform. Applied Materials is another one. I actually started out with a put credit spread, and then I added the call spread on a big up day. And in Applied Materials, just over the last 30 days, we haven't been in it that long, but we've got $353 profit just in 30 days. So done pretty well. And then our profit zone, of course, being an iron condor, we want it to stay within a range. And that's all the way down to 175 up to 215. We're profitable. And if you look at the chart, that takes us from about here, and then here's where we are at 192, and then all the way up here, and that's where there's resistance. You can see right here. So we've got our call side right at resistance. That's another reason I put it on, even though my target price is 240, but that's over the next year. So for it to move up like that, in the next 30 days, I don't expect that, and there's resistance here. So that is why I threw on that call spread, the 210, 220, and collected additional premium on an up day. Let me know down below as well what you're doing in the semis, if you think the semis are going to continue to do well. I think with AI and tech, it's going to continue to do well this year. AMD trading at 121. This one to me is way undervalued. If we look at the chart, RSI is way down. We're below the 200-day. The NVIDIA CEO came out and, talked about NVIDIA. I don't know why AMD. I've got to look back. I don't even care why it's down. And to me, it's just a lower cost alternative to NVIDIA. There's a shortage of the GPUs, and AMD's a huge player in gaming as well. They've done well in the data centers. You know why it is down? I do recall now. They came out and B of A had a downgrade, and it was due to the PCs and that market being a little bit lower. But to me, I'm not worried about that at all. So I'm definitely long. I've got the stock at 200, so almost double where it is now. So I'm just playing it long. You can see I don't have, the only calls that I have on are at 124, 125. Those are 2 calls that I put on against my 2 long leaps right here. So that is still a bullish trade. And if I get up to the 124, 125, we're at 12 days. That's kind of my, I've got $400 in extrinsic here that we collect as long as we stay under that price. If we do test those, I'll roll them up and out, to the next week a little bit further. But I'm even doing weeklies, not necessarily monthlies in AMD. But I wanted to stay here January 31st before earnings on February 4th. But definitely long AMD. Amazon put credit spread, we're at 225, earnings 2.6. So you can see we're profitable as long as it moves up. And my chart right in the middle on the RSI, up above, it's trending nicely. But my target again for AMD is quite high. Quite a bit higher than 250, and we're at 225. So I'm still long, but for Amazon, I've just got the put side on right now and in short before earnings. So maybe at earnings, when it comes volatile, I might throw on an iron condor, or I may just wait until after earnings and throw on something, maybe an iron condor. CEG, Constellation Energy. So with the data centers need for more energy, these guys are big in nuclear as well. But wide profit zone from 270 to 340, and we're at 316. We're up above my target of 280 right now. So that's why I want to have both sides on. And you can see at the RSI, we're a little bit overvalued right now. But it's all the AI data center talk. But in CEG, Constellation Energy, we've done pretty well, and we haven't had the trade on too long. Coin, the new administration, inauguration is this weekend, starting Monday. They're pro-crypto. Coinbase should continue to do well. It's done well for us. And you can see my target is 350. We're at 295, so quite a ways to go. I'm just going to stay long with put spreads. And I like to sell options because it's a much higher probability. The only options that you see me really buy, I don't buy short-term call options because there's too many variables that can move either way. I buy the long-term though because, with my year-long targets, I want to buy those leaps because then when you buy options, you don't get eaten up by the time decay with the leaps. And then you can also sell calls against it and collect premium. So I'm really a seller of premium and want to collect it. DraftKings has done really well. I know over the last year it goes up and down, but almost $4,000, $3,850 over the last 365 days. So just doing leaps. My target is 50. I know. And I just sell calls against my leap at 42. I actually, because of the move up, I actually got out of a tranche, and I'll wait for a big down move, and then probably buy another leaps and then sell a call against it. But here's my target 50. But it's really consistent. We've got ELF. Now, I've got 2 tranches on here. I probably won't add more depending on how the whole China, TikTok, and trade tariffs go with the new administration. ELF has their products made in China, even though they're a U.S.-based company, but that could affect them, so I'm not going to go too big. But if that weren't an issue due to the fundamentals and the strength of the stock and the low-cost beauty makeup sector, my target's 180. But again, the trade tariffs add to that. So that's why I'm just going to stay pretty quiet here. Let's see. February 4th is earnings. I've got this on the 31st, so I'll look to close this out pretty soon. But you can see it was down 5% on Friday, so pretty big. Gold, 240 to 255. It's at 249, so upper end of the range, and it's right around my target's 240, 250 for the 1 year. So I expect it to trade within a range, and that's what we've been doing. So I've got both sides iron condors because it's 51 IVR. So that means that we can go pretty wide and collect a lot of premium. And just over the last 30 days, let's see what we did. See $380 just over the last 30 days. Now, one other one that I closed out, and I'll show you why, but FedEx right here. It was an earnings play, and you can see we made $416 over the last 30 days. So really good in FedEx. And the reason I closed it out is after earnings, it dropped to IVR of 10. So at that point, and we're at 275, my target for FedEx, what is it? I don't have it written in here, but I'll have to look and update you next time. I think, it looks like it's around 310. So a little bit higher than where it is right now. Up here basically is my target. And that's the top end of the range. So I think eventually it'll get up there, but Ivy ranks too low for me to play it. I don't want to do a leaps. It's too expensive. A stock will require still a lot of capital. So that was one I closed out. Google is the next one. And Google, I like. They're dominant. 2.4 is earnings right here. I've got earnings set up. This is the Tasty Trade platform. I've got a link down below. Great option trading platform, real intuitive. As you can see from the if you like charts and profit zones, this is great. And then they've also got the table mode if you like to purchase and buy that way. So you can do curve or table mode, and it gives you your analysis with an easy to read graph. And then it gives you your history over the last 30, 60, 90 days. So I love it. Check that out. I also use Moomoo. There's a link for that as well. There's benefits if you go through my link on both of them. Google is trading at 196, and my target is 215. I do have both sides on, but I've got two tranches of the puts and one of the calls, and 196, and my target's 215 for 1 year. So a little bit higher than where it's at, but it's been trending up. So I'm just kind of in a neutral type trading zone. We've made 248 on this particular tranche, but doing really well on Google. Honeywell, 2.6 is earnings. I've got this iron condor just about max profit. And it expires on the 31st prior to earnings. So sometimes I'll put them intentionally prior to earnings, thinking that it's going to stay within that range prior to earnings. And it's done pretty well. It's been doing that. And just over the last 30 days, we've done really well, 233. So, the fact that we're making money on all these just over the last 30 days, you can see how we're up 10% so far this year. I've got another one on 210 to 250, so huge range after earnings on the 21st, the regular option chain. And for Honeywell, my target's 245. And, we're kind of trading within a range. So I don't think it's a huge moving stock. And I don't normally trade it, but IVR was high at 73 prior to earnings. So, hey, I'll sell some premium in it and collect it. IonQ. So these guys, I did a video on the quantum computing stocks, and the two that I trade are Rigetti and IonQ. I get in and out of them. I just started doing it in the last 30 days, but excuse me. Now I'm looking to do a poor man's covered call here since it is down. So it had a big drop. So I got out. I don't have anything on. These are pending for next week, but I don't have anything on, and I think we're almost break even. I don't think I did really good in it, but yeah, down $20. But we had a huge move up, and now we're coming back down, and we're at 38. Wow, well, we're right there. So not down too much, but right in the middle of the RSI. But you can sell calls against this and make money. So I think long-term quantum, they've been talking about it for years, but I think with AI, it's finally starting to be used a little bit more. But because of the high IVR, 86, I'm going to sell an iron condor in it and collect premium. And this is February 14th, and earnings is February 21st, I believe. Oh, let's see. So if we go overview, we can look right here. Yeah, 226. And I'm going 224. So I'm going prior to earnings. I'm not even going and that's why I'm doing it, is I think it's going to stay in that range. After earnings, hey, it could go anywhere. But I'm going to have both on, and we'll see how that plays out. Let me know what you're doing with quantum computing in the comments below. Is it IonQ and Rigetti, are you guys trading some other quantum computing stocks? IWM, the Russell, it's done well and moving up. Where are we at? Right in the middle of the RSI. There's the 200-day. My target 1 year is 250. We're at 225 right now. So I don't have a whole lot on, but I'd like to be in the Russell. I think it's going to do well with less regulation and the new administration coming in. J&J, 145, 135 put spread, 32 IV rank. My target's 170. We're at 147 right now. January 22nd is earnings, and we've got this after earnings, so hopefully earnings are good. Otherwise, we will need to roll out or close out, so we'll see. But I think J&J is undervalued a little bit right now. JP Morgan, I'm actually looking to close this out. We did pretty well in it, and we're at 259. right now. We're testing my short strike here on the call side. I got an iron condor on, so I'm just going to close it out. I've got it below the market right here to close for $1.15, but it's actually going to take like 4.14. I don't know how liquid it is right now since the market's closed, but I'll look to close this out because of IVR being low. I don't want to sell options when IVR is that low, and it's already had a bit of a run up and it's at a high. See, it's above my target of 250 right now. But I do think the banks will do well. JP Morgan's the best. Both L3 and Lockheed Martin are two defense powerhouses that are way down, and I'm long. They're going to do well in the current administration, so I'm just doing put spreads, I think. Yep, put spread in those. I think they're going to continue to do well. They took a hit because Elon Musk made a comment about, putting pilots in jets and, that everything is going to unmanned aircraft, UAVs, and but L3 and Lockheed Martin are very involved in that as well. Mara, crypto mining company. I've got 2 poor man covered calls. It's done well, and it had a move back down, and then I threw on a couple of poor man covered calls. If we look at how we've done just recently, I'm sure it's pretty good. Yeah, a couple $100 just in the last 30 days. So we're doing okay in Mara. Meta, 510 to 670, huge range. Wow. January 29th earnings. So this is after earnings, but we've got that huge profit range right here. And my target is 650, a little bit higher than where it is right now, but trending nicely, trading within a range. It's a little up on the RSI, but I've got a big range here to play with. Marvell, 22 IVR, 124, big AI stock. It's a fairly new trade. My target's 120, so we're right around there right now. Yeesh. I see better trades than Marvell right now. How have we done? 30 days. We're almost break even, 37. But 124, my target is 120. Yeah, I'm going to close this out. There's better trades. So this is what I like to do is just close. So I'll hit to close, and then $4.05 is, so $405 it would take to close it, but the market's wide right now. So I'm going to put it at 105. So it's way below. I'm not going to get filled at that. And then good till canceled right here. But that'll remind me come Tuesday when the market's open that, hey, I want to adjust this and close out of this. Microsoft, we've got a put spread 420. I think Microsoft's way undervalued. Tom Lee talked about the big tech and Microsoft, and he thinks it's going to move up. I do too. My target for Microsoft is 500. It's trading at 430. So I've got a put spread on, and let's see. 129 is earnings. So I've got this after earnings, but I'm fine with that. MicroStrategies has done really well. I've did a video on doing weekly options, but then it got hit, and then I had to roll them out. But we're doing great, and strategy is working. I've got 2 tranches on at 300. This is heavily crypto Bitcoin leveraged. Michael Saylor, founder, CEO of MicroStrategies, 396 right now. It's going to do well with the new administration. My target is 500, so still room to move. I'm going to stay long, and just in the last 30 days, almost $1,000 in MicroStrategies. So it's been doing really well. I don't want to even put on the call side at this point. Micron, these guys, I've got 2 leaps, and I've got 2 calls against them. One on February 2nd or 7th, and then one on the 21st, the regular option chain. And you can see you can collect. Here's the extrinsic, $200. you collect against each one of these. So you can pay off that leaps in less than 6 months just collecting the premium that you sell against it. So to me, that's a great strategy when you want to go long. I've also got a put spread 95.85 and we're at 105. It's been down. My target though is much higher at 180 right here. Or what do I got? 160? I thought it was even higher than that, but it's got a lot of room to move. This is like one of the best trades I think on the board right now is Micron long. Nvidia, king of AI. I've got one leaps and I'm selling a call against it, and we're getting close. We're at 137, 140 testing it, and then I've got a couple of put spreads. My target for Nvidia is 170. We're at 137, so it's fairly valued right now. I'm long Nvidia. Palo Alto Networks, one of I think the best of the cybersecurities. 2 put spreads, earnings 218. So these are both after earnings. But if you look here, it's had a bit of a pullback, so that's why I got long, and we're at the bottom end of the RSI. And this is the best in class. Cybersecurity is going to continue to do really well going forward as well. So I expect at some point that's going to pick up, so we will just keep rolling put spreads. Palantir had a big run. We've done pretty well, I believe, in Palantir. Let's see, over the last, made like $1,000, I think, over the last year. 1,063. But it's been so high. I like selling leaps. I've got a couple of leaps, and I've got 2 calls against it at 72. We're already almost testing those because we had a big bit of a run up. So that's okay. That's all profit. At some point, I'll push these leaps out further up and out, and hold on to these leaps. Unless we're at the top of the end of the range, 71. What's my 1-year target for these guys? I mean, it could, 100. So there's still room to move in my mind. A lot of people think it's overvalued, but these guys have tons of contracts and are just dominant. PayPal. Another one, we're long fintech, and up 3% just on Friday. So PayPal, I've got calls against my leaps too. So I've got 2 poor man's covered calls and 1 put spread, and earnings is February 4th, and we've got this on for the 21st. And in the last 30 days, we've killed it in this one too. $729 just in 30 days. So I like PayPal. Again, my target is 95. We're at 91, so we're getting up close to that. So once we get near there, I probably won't be long. I'll either be neutral if IVR is high, but if it drops, then I'll just close out and look for something better. But 480 to 540 for the Qs, and we're still in that range. If we go trade curve analysis, you can see we're right in the middle there. And what's my target for the Qs? Target 565, a little bit higher than where it is, but that's out the full year. It's going to take time to get there. Let me know what you think the market's going to do, where it's going to end up, the S&P or the Qs at the end of the year. Rivian got a couple of leaps and calls against it. I'm long Rivian. I think they've got some, their new R2 and R3 that are going to be lower priced, but they're not coming out until 2026. But I do have a target of 20, and the stock's trading at 14 right now. Rigetti, did we talk about that? I'm looking to buy Rigetti on Tuesday when the market opens. Look at that big drop in Rigetti. And we actually did pretty well, I believe, in Rigetti, selling, $478, just selling calls against the leaps in the last 30 days. So did really well in 30 days in this. And now I'm going to buy the leaps and rinse and repeat. So I'll buy the leaps on a down day. We were down 12% on Friday. I wasn't in it, but now I'm going to buy, and then I'm going to Probably wait for an update. I may put on a call sell a call against these two at the same, maybe one. Although I don't think I will, because I think it's going to go back up. I'll wait for a big update, and then I'll sell a couple calls against it. Is probably the plan. Super micro, China tariffs. That's the only reason I don't have more on. My target's much higher, but I've got leaps, poor man's covered calls, and target is 70. But again, trade tariffs and how that works, I think it's going to be fine. But I think it's just Trump negotiating and everything. I actually think TikTok's going to be somehow fine as well. My kids hope it is. But SoFi, I've got 9 leaps options against it, and then 2 calls at 17. And on those 2, there's $266 in extrinsic. And in the last 30 days, we've made $25.62. But, in the last 6 months, we've done even better than that. We've done $53.62. So we've been killing it. SoFi is going to continue to do well. My target for SoFi is much higher. What do I got it at? I don't even know. But there's resistance at 17. But I got to figure out a target. I think my target's 30. My target's about $30, so about double where it's at right now. So I'm going to stay long. SoundHound, AI stock, the audio portion, selling calls against it against the 2 leaps is what I've been doing, and it's been profitable. I'm going to stay long SoundHound. Square, fintech, similar to PayPal. I've got a leaps and poor man's covered call, selling the 95 call against Square. My target's 100. This is the Jack Dorsey company. He's a little odd, but he seems like a good CEO. He runs good companies. He's obviously brilliant, but target of 100. Tesla, love trading iron condors on this one. It's been moving, but I'm expecting it to stay within a range. We've got earnings on January 29th, so I've got the 24th. I've got a tranche before and a tranche after, and you can see the huge profit zone that we have. My target for Tesla is 450, a little bit higher than where it's at right now. It could go to 500. I think long term, I'm going to be bullish, but we can't let it. It's not just going to keep going to the moon. Uber, this was one of my best ones. I got this actually watching CNBC. Somebody talked about it being their favorite trade, and I looked at it and I said, dang, it is a good trade. It's way down. It's at 67. My target, after looking into it's 90. So huge room for the upside. The RSI was down. Now it's up a little, but we've killed it over the last 30 days. Just recent trade, but made $400, $397 over the last 30 days. And that is, I've got 1 leaps and a call against it at 70, and then I've got 2 put spreads, both at the regular option chain, the February 21st, 33 days. And when did they have earnings? 2.5, so it's going to be prior, but I'm okay with that. I think they're going to be good, and they should profit quickly that way. But my target's much higher, so it's nice when you know where you think the stock's going to end up in a year, then you can confidently put trades on. But actually, I've got right here, I was looking at selling. What was I going to do here? Closing these out, 60, 65, 50, 55. I'm not sure what I was doing. I'm going to cancel that and figure it out Tuesday when the market opens. But I'm long Uber. Ulta. Okay, this one, it was down. This is a Buffett stock. We actually did really well on it. We traded it a couple of months ago. So let's look at 60 days. It made $645. So, but then it moved up, and up, and then I took it off, and now we're back down again. So even though IVR is low in Ulta, I'm looking at throwing it back on, and the 400-390 put spread and collecting a third the width of the strike, 350. I've got it above the market right now, but I'm expecting that to move up. Let's see when earnings are. So earnings, because I don't own it right now, it's not going to show on the left here. So I've got to click over to the right here, open this up, and then look down here on the overview page, and you can see 313. So no earnings within this next cycle. So I'm confident that it's going to stay above 400 bucks where it is right now. And again, my target's 450. So if it doesn't and it goes below, then I'll just roll it to the next month and collect more premium and wait it out. But I do like Ulta, even though the IVR is not as high as I would like it. You can still collect a third the width of the strike. Upstart, Leaps options, 62 is where it's trading at. IV rank is 42. We're almost done here. I got to speed things up, don't I? If you think these videos are too long, let me know. If you're okay with the way they are, let me know as well. Upstart, 75 call and 70 leaps. So just trading leaps options. My target for Upstart is 80, 62. A lot of room to move there. These guys are the AI insurance assessment company. Visa, it's really, I mean, it's solid stock fundamentals. I've got an iron condor on. It's also kind of a fintech play. 305, 335, huge range. 130 is earnings. So I'm looking for it to stay within that range. Hello. And my target's 335. And yeah, we're kind of in a range right there at 319. So, and IVR is high at 50. So that's why I'm selling an iron condor, collecting premium. VIX, small trade on. It's just what is it? It's a call debit spread. So spike in VIX, we make a little bit of money. I may take that off next week. And Viasat, I've got a few leaps options on. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Let me know how you're doing in the comments below so far year to date. And if you've got some of these trades on, or if you've got others, let me know as well. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Download the free options workshop in the link below. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.